Hi, my name is Karen Whittemore. I am a certified family nurse practitioner. I've been in nursing since 1992. I started as a registered nurse and then got my master's in science of nursing through the U of U in 1998. And so I've been practicing for about 25 years now. And in all my time, I have never seen anything quite like the technology of the X39 from the LifeWave company. And today I'm going to be sharing some information about it, sharing how this technology works and why you might be interested in it. And to start with, I am going to share John Cheng's story. He recently talked with me this week and I was able to hear it firsthand, and it's quite an amazing story. So John Cheng has a 13-year-old dog, had a 13-year-old dog who was getting old. He was a large dog and he was having some hip problems. John always used patches on his dog and feels like it extended his life and the quality of his life probably about 9 or 10 years. And the day before his dog passed away, it was outside and he was trying to pick it up to bring it inside and must have picked it up wrong. Anyway, he must have hurt it and the dog just nipped at his ear, and you can see in the next slide that his ear is just split right through. That was the damage that had happened. And he had blood dripping down his shirt. He went to the emergency room and waited there for 5 hours to try to get help. Finally, he got tired of waiting in the ER and went home, where his wife said, "Hey, no, you've got to do something about that ear. That doesn't look good. It's just not going to heal on its own." So her cousin is Dr. Brandon Liu, who's the head of the ER over at the Huntington Hospital in Pasadena, California. She gave him a call, sent him a photo to try to get his opinion, his advice. And he said, a wound like that is not going to heal probably without plastic surgery. Let me just touch base with one of my plastic surgeons and I'll get back with you. So he called his plastic surgeon friend and said, yeah, there's no way this is going to heal without surgery. So go to the hospital and I'll have the surgeon meet you there. So he drove out there. They gave him a tetanus shot. They cleaned him up, put a bandage on it, and he waited for another 3 hours for the plastic surgeon to show up. After waiting that long, and it was already 10 o'clock at night, he decided, I just can't wait any longer, gave up and went home. What he did that night, so he has been a patch wearer all along. He was using the X39 ever since it came out, which was 2 years prior. What he did this particular night was he put an extra X39 on right on top of the dressing. So it wasn't even touching the ear. The next morning he got up and he decided to take a look at it around 11 o'clock and took the dressings off of it and was amazed with how it looked. And just then, Dr. Brandon Liu called to check up on him to find out how he was doing. And he said, it seems like it's healing up. I'm thinking maybe I don't need to go to the emergency room after all, or go to the hospital and have any surgery. And said, well, I'm not so sure about that. Why don't you send me a video? And so he had his wife take a video from front to back and all different angles and send it off to Brandon Liu, who said, no effing way. He could not believe it. He could not believe how much it had looked like it was repairing in such a short time. He said, what are you doing? And he said, remember those patches that I told you about a couple of years ago? Well, I just put one on the dressing and I got up and it's looking like this. So Dr. Brandon Liu told him to keep on taking photographs of it. And this is why we have so much footage of this particular accident, is because we have images here at 14 hours later. And then again, we have images of 7 days later, and you can see how rapidly it's repairing. And then he took an image at 30 days. And in this one, he's even tugging on his ear. It is completely healed, and you really can't even see any scarring. That is the power of the X39 patch. So my question for you is, have you been patched yet? I have been wearing the LifeWave patches for about 3 years now, and I'm very happy to be doing so. So can you imagine elevating, activating, regenerating your own stem cells? Imagine experiencing a level of health and vitality that you have not experienced since you were in your youth. Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, having more energy, and reversing aging. So these are things that are actually possible with using the patch. So as we age, we lose our stem cells. That's why it's so hard for us to heal. The faster we age, the slower we heal. And there are hundreds and millions of people out there that are experiencing symptoms of aging, like myself. I'm 57. And what I was noticing before using the patch is that I was not sleeping well at night. I was getting up every hour or two to get up and pee. And I was noticing that the tissue under my eyes was getting thin, and I was getting recession along the sides of my hair, which I did not like. But as we age, the stem cells in our body, they become less effective. And by age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity. They're becoming slower and releasing less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. By the time we're in our mid-70s, we almost show no stem cell activity at all. And that's why people have such a harder time the older they get. LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And you always want to consult with a physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new treatment, product use, diet, or fitness program. This patch is not healing or curing anything. What this patch is doing is it's giving your bodies the tools it needs so that it can make the repairs, so that it can heal itself, which I find incredible. There's no medication that's going into you. It's a frequency patch. So how does the X39 work? Well, it's made from organic nanocrystals, and it's kind of the holy grail of reverse aging. It stimulates our copper peptide, GHKCU, in the body. The LifeWave X39 patch elevates that peptide for the activation of the stem cells, and it's clinically proven to enhance overall health. So when I say frequency medicine, think about going out into the sun. When you're hit by the sun's light, it is hitting you with a specific frequency that we are evolutionarily programmed to respond to, that tells our body to produce vitamin D. I used to think that the sunlight was giving us vitamin D, but that's not how it works. It's giving us a signal telling us to produce vitamin D. And that's the concept with the patch. So it's a light frequency device. And in fact, Albert Einstein said back in his day that the future of medicine would be frequency medicine. And this is a perfect example of that. So as our body's heat hits the patch, and heat is in the form of light called far infrared. So we could see it if we used night goggles. We see that we emit light. We are light beings. And as that heat activates this patch, the light bounces off. It's infused by these organic crystals with a certain frequency and goes back into our skin, stimulating it, telling us to start producing more copper peptide. So on the website of NIH, the National Institute of Health, this is a government website, this is what they have to say that it does, that GHKCU does. So copper peptide stimulates blood vessel and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. GHK's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, and stomach lining. GHK has also been found to possess powerful cell productive actions, such as multiple anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. So, and that's just the first couple of lines. It goes on to talk about the benefits of copper peptide. And that's before we even consider that it's activating our stem cells. So who came up with this technology? Well, our inventor and CEO of LifeWave is David Schmidt. He has over 130 US patents. He is a scientist and inventor. He is a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. Now, these are just a couple of the awards that he's received. He's received many others, but these are really significant. So it first began when the government was trying to come up with a way to help Navy SEALs stay awake in a mini sub for 30 hours without using any drugs, any type of stimulant that could actually be harmful in the long run. And so they proposed this idea, and David Schmidt said, yeah, sure, I can come up with an idea. And he says that when he left that office, some of the other scientists asked him, what's your idea? How are you going to do something? And he said, well, I really don't know, but I know there's got to be an answer. And he said he went home and prayed about it, and he came up with the energy enhancer patches. So that was our first prototype. And he decided, you know what? This is something really special. It's not something that should just be for the US military. It's something that should be for the world. Everybody should have access to this. And so he came up with the LifeWave company back in 2004, starting with the energy enhancer patch. And in its first year, this company did $17 million. So it's got a good track record. It's been around for 20 years, and there are very few companies that can say that. So this company has very unique products, and that's a real plus. It is exclusively protected by multiple patents. There are over 80 research and clinical studies. There are independent researchers and universities which have done studies, and there lots of medical and scientific experts have looked at this. This is just one of the studies that I found really interesting. So this is a brain scan, brain mapping of a 77-year-old female. Now you can see the scale on the side. So the redder the color, the higher the voltage in the brain. So this is a brain of somebody who has a lot of inflammation, very overactive brain, probably a very anxious person. This was before starting the X39. After 3 weeks of using the patches, you can see how the brain appears much calmer. And after 6 weeks, it maintains that more calmer, balanced appearance. And this is really incredible when you consider that at the age of 77, we already said that, in our mid-70s, we have almost little to no stem cell activity. So the fact that we were able to stimulate and regenerate in someone at this age is quite amazing, and just goes to show you that anybody at any age can benefit from using this product. It is patented, and you can't get a US patent unless you can prove what you claim to do. And this US patent states that it increases copper peptide for the activation of stem cells. And we do have a study that shows within 7 days, we dramatically increase our production of GHKCU in the body. So these are unique products. And from a business side, if you're wanting to look at it from a business perspective, this is a great time to get in, because you cannot get this anywhere else except for a brand partner or somebody else who is also involved in LifeWave. That is the only way you can get access to this. And there are still, most people have never even heard of these products. So it's a great opportunity for those of you that are business minded and are interested in sharing and looking at it for the business side of things. For those who are just wanting to use this for your own health and healing, that is wonderful too. We have great ways to get access to the products for people who just want to be involved that way. So what are the benefits that you might expect with the X39? Well, in the studies that they've done, they've shown rapid pain relief, reduced inflammation. In fact, within 24 hours, they have been able to show that there are reductions in inflammation, which is really important when you consider that inflammatory conditions, inflammation is at the core of cancer, autoimmune disorders, of many of our disease processes. it supports wound healing, and we just saw a perfect example of how this helps with wound healing. Helps with energy and vitality, mental clarity. It enhances sports performance, faster recovery from exercise, improved skin appearance. I noticed for myself, I was sleeping much better, and I started feeling plumpness under my eyes after about 3 months. So what's happening inside of the body? Well, after the first few days of wearing the patch, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's a third of the body's genome. And within 6 weeks, we just saw the pictures, the brain becomes more balanced. There's decreased symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. There's decreases in wrinkles, hair growth increases in structural integrity of both your skeletal and muscular system. And then within 6 months, I really enjoyed this study. So they noticed that 14 out of 15 people had lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after wearing the patch for just six months of the X39. So that's not anti-aging, that's age reversing. So that's really exciting. We are still dealing with cardiovascular disease as being the #1 killer. And so anything that we can do to help our cardiovascular health is great. We all need this. So where can you go if you want to learn more information? We do have a wonderful website. It's called yourteaminmotion.com. You can write that name down, check it out, yourteaminmotion.com. We will be regularly updating it with more testimonials, more experiences from people. And if you are interested in, hey, I think that I really want to get started on this, get back with the person who invited you here. They will have an idea of how it's going to be most affordable for you to be able to get access to the patches. The retail price is $150 a month, but there are different options like becoming a brand partner or a preferred customer where you can bring the price down to only $100 a month. So that makes it so that anybody hopefully can have some access to it who really needs this technology. So that is my presentation. I will be here every Sunday to share, and we'll have new testimonials here and if you have family members or friends that you would like to share this information with, feel free to send them this link. I'll be here. Thank you all for joining me today. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.